Happy Sunday, beautiful people in my phone. Welcome to Car Conversations, where we talk all things faith, freedom, football, etc. Good morning. How are we doing on this beautiful Sunday morning? hmm It's beautiful. Um, I pray you are well. I pray you had a great week over the last week. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Thank you for my OGs that have been around since day one. But welcome to all the new subscribers. Thank you for clicking the like button. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing the content as you feel led to share content. You know, people in Atlanta, they just do what they want to do on these streets, on these roads. Um, anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. Shout out to A3. You know who you are. Shout out to A3. Let's see. Great football yesterday, right? Great football. Um, just when we think I'm a fan of Billy Napier, okay? He is from the Coach Saban's coaching tree, and I just like him. I like his demeanor, I like his confidence, I like his even approach to coaching. I like Billy Napier, and what he did yesterday in the swamp against Sark. I don't know what's happening in Texas. I really don't. But shout out to Billy Napier and the Florida Gators for handling their business at home yesterday. And is it an Arch Manning issue? Like, what is happening in Texas? Put it in the comments. What are your thoughts on that? Um, Miami handled FSU. It got close at the end. You know, I would have loved for FSU to have won that game, but they didn't. It is what it is. Miami seems to be the real deal this year. Penn State losing to UCLA, who was 0 and 4, 0 and 5, 0 and 4. Hadn't won a game, and Penn State lost to UCLA. I mean, any given Saturday. But I am getting a little concerned about James Franklin and his position there. I mean, how long? He's a good coach, but how long? Will they? Will they keep him? I mean, he gets so close every year. It's better and better. But yeah, they lost to UCLA and Nico. Georgia handled Kentucky like we knew that you would. Georgia fans, we knew that you would handle Kentucky. Great bounce back game for them. And then my beloved Tide. We did what we needed to do against Vandy. After I haven't rewatched the game, I haven't had a chance to rewatch the game, but I did take a look at highlights again. I do like what I saw as far as the effort and the energy of our defense, the discipline, the eye discipline of our defense. I absolutely loved what I saw. We had a fumble, Justin Jefferson making the tackle and punching that ball out of Pavia's hands was chef's kiss. Um, yeah. We had a takeaway. I think there was an interception by Keon Sabb. There were multiple almost interceptions. Which their eyes are where they need to be. The eyes of the defense are where they need to be. How do you feel about this 3-3-5 defense that Kane Womack has brought to Tuscaloosa? Put that in the comments, if you will. How do you feel about the 3-3-5 defense? I think it has its drawbacks, but maybe it's just about the execution. Maybe it's just about the discipline of each individual player, making sure that they're doing his job, which that's usually what it's about anyway in any position. And they're really beginning to gel with it. I think that Coach Kane Womack, I call him Big Daddy Kane. He was either going to be Big Daddy Kane or he was Kane, or he was going to be Big Daddy Lame. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, it was going to be one or the other after this game, because 2 years in a row, you cannot let Pavia beat you. You can't. You can't. You have to figure out a way to stop, you know, um, that RPO, his mobility, that shuffle pass killed us last year. I saw at least one, probably more than one yesterday. But we were able to do what we needed to do, and begin to shut their run game down after that first quarter, which I loved seeing that. I love seeing that. And then our run game, Jam, oh Jam, Jam Miller did what he needed to do. I love that for 26. I love to see him back in his groove. When the run game works, it's a thing of beauty. I mean, it's a thing of beauty. No, we were not going to be able to run on Georgia like that last week, and there will be other defenses that we face, I'm sure, this season, that we will not be able to run like that. But when it works, come on, y'all know. If you love football, if you really watch football and you love football, when the run game works, like it's a thing of beauty. It really is. And we know that the run does what? It opens up the pass. And we had some big catches. Shout out to Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams uh, did a complete course correction for what needed to happen versus last week. He caught that ball with his hands. He seemed to be very focused. He took some monster hits for him to be as small framed as he is. He took some monster hits, and I appreciate that from Ryan Williams. And he inked a new deal with New Era. So, hey, I'm all about getting your bag. Get your bag if that's what. Get your bag, but also handle your business, right? Do what you need to do on the field. That's the thing. So, shout out to Ryan Williams for that. Caden Proctor, and I'm gonna go because I don't want this to be too long. But Caden Proctor, was it 3rd and 1? It wasn't 4th down. Couldn't have been 4th down. They didn't give Big Boy the ball on 4th down. It must have been 3rd and 1. To see him run that ball like that and bulldoze over people, like, I love that is now, there's a package for him that we're seeing now 2 weeks in a row. I love that for him. I love that for the versatility of the offense. I love that to keep defenses honest and on their heels. I love that. I absolutely love that. So I think that was all I really wanted to address. The touchdown at the end, I loved it. I loved it. And was that Jam? They didn't even show that in the highlight that I rewatched earlier. And I was mad that they didn't show it. I believe it was Jam. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was it Ridley? I don't know who it was, but whoever ran that touchdown at the end of the game, yeah, that needed to happen just because Diego Pavia, say less, say less next time, say less. Okay, that needed to happen, but the drive, the what, 47-second drive at the end of the second quarter. I mean, that's a thing of beauty, and that's practice. That's practice. Practice makes permanent. Practice makes permanent. So I love to see that kind of drive, and we did a drive like that also against Georgia last week. It was a great. It was there was a great game. It was a great game. There was great execution throughout. And Ty openly, pardon moi, Ty openly admitting, his errors in his post game presser. I saw a little bit of his post game presser where he said, "Hey, I realize that I was holding on to the ball a little too long. I should have thrown them away. I can't take those sacks. He saw that and he took accountability, full accountability. I love that, especially from your leader, taking full accountability. That will take you far with your team, your locker room. So um, shout out to Ty Simpson for that. First pick that he had thrown, the entire season. It came in that first drive. So, but we recovered, and we got the stop, and we got the turnover from, on their side. It was just a really, it was a show of resilience. It was a show of effort. It was a show of great fortitude and mindset, discipline, to stay in the game, and not lose track of finishing. So great team win, Tide. Great team win. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I hope that your plans for today feed your soul. Do whatever you need to do to feed your soul this day. It is the Sabbath. It's the day of rest. It's the day that I take as a Sabbath, and I am. It's the day that the Lord has made, and I shall rejoice and be glad in it. A couple of things that feed my soul that I've had over the last week: time with family and friends, loved ones, time with the people who see you, who love you, who value you. Uh, that brings me great joy. Um, Great live music, because they don't make music like they used to make anymore. They just don't. Great live music feeds my soul. And then being able to go into the house of the Lord. Last but certainly not least, the most important, being able to go into the house of the Lord and worship with good people. That definitely feeds my soul. So do what feeds your soul so that you can be well and that you can love others well. I love y'all. Y'all stay winning and y'all stay free.